Good morning, ABW 4K classes. Miss Erica here at Monaco Public Library, and I have Digger story time for you today. So we're going to have some fun with some stories, rhymes, finger plays, and flannel stories, or flannel activities. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to sing good morning, and we're going to sing first to Miss Wingo, class 1. So we'll say Miss Wingo 1, and then Miss Wingo 2, and then Miss Kakulka 1, and Miss Kakulka 2, like we usually do. So, all right, ready? Put your hands together and let's clap. Here we go. Good morning, Miss Wingo 1. Good morning, Miss Wingo 1. Good morning, Miss Wingo 1. We're glad you're here today. All right, now Miss Wingo 2. Good morning, Miss Wingo 2. Good morning, Miss Wingo 2. Good morning, Miss Wingo 2. We're glad you're here today. And now Miss Kakulka 1. Good morning, Miss Kakulka 1. Good morning, Miss Kakulka 1. Good morning, Miss Kakulka 1. We're glad you're here today. And now Miss Kakulka 2. Good morning, Miss Kakulka 2. Good morning, Miss Kakulka 2. Good morning, Miss Kakulka 2. We're glad you're here today. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here with you today. So, as usual, I'm going to start my story time with my mystery box. And like I said, we have Digger story time today. So I'm going to probably guess that the mystery box item has something to do with digging. So here's your first clue. Ready? Number 1 is you use this in dirt or sand or sometimes snow. So clue number 2 is it usually has a handle end and a metal end. Oh, and remember, I forgot to say, if you think you know the answer and you have a guess, keep it in your mouth, put a bubble in your mouth. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm puffing my cheeks out like frog, and raise your hand. If you blurt out the answer, it kind of ruins the surprise for everyone else. So remember those 3 things. Keep it in your head, put a bubble in your mouth, and raise your hand. All right? So here's my clues again. First clue. You use this in the dirt or the sand or sometimes the snow. Second clue is it has a handle end and usually a metal end, sometimes plastic end. And the third clue is you use this to make a hole. So what do you think's inside my mystery box? Ready to find out? Teachers, if you want to pause the video, you can right now. All right, here we go. I'm going to look inside, see what it is. Here it is. It's a shovel. If you guessed a shovel, that's right. And this is actually a special kind of shovel called a garden trowel. So you use this in the garden to scoop and dig dirt. It's like a little mini shovel. So I'm going to put that aside. And let's get to our very first story. Here it is. The Digger and the Flower by Joseph Quiffler. And I'm reading it with permission from HarperCollins Publishers. So this is a cute story because it has to do with a digger and a flower. And with the warmer weather, I'm sure the flowers are going to be coming up soon because the season is springtime when all the flowers start to bloom, right? So it's kind of fitting for the season as well. All right, it says, it was morning and the big trucks were ready to work. Let's hoist, said Crane. Let's push, said Dozer. Let's dig, said Digger. Together they built tall buildings for working. They built roads for driving and bridges for crossing. They built and built until the loud whistle blew. Woo, woo! I'm beat, said Crane. Me too, said Dozer. But the other big trucks took a break, and Digger did not. had found something in the rubble. "Hello there," he said. The flower was tiny, but it was beautiful. Aww. Every day while the other big trucks built, Digger visited the flower. He watered it when its leaves looked dry. He shielded it on windy days. And just before he switched off for the night, he sang it a bedtime song. See the music notes? Aw, what a nice Digger. The flower grew, but the city grew too. Soon every space had been filled. Every space except one. "We need to put a building here," said Crane. Dozer started his engine. Before Digger could stop him, Dozer blew a big puff of smoke and cut the flower down. Oh no. Uh-oh. Poor Digger, poor flower. Then the other big trucks went back to work, but Digger did not. Oh, how do you think Digger feels? Poor Digger. The Dozer cut his flower down. Look at, he's got tears in his eyes. I think he's really sad. When the smoke cleared, Digger saw something in the rubble. "Little seeds," he said. He scooped them up and here's his, where's he dug his dig mark, and he drove. He drove past the tall buildings and past the furthest house on the furthest street. He drove to a place no big truck had ever been. Look, he's like out in the country. Let's see his tracks. There, Digger stopped. He dug and scooped and tucked the little seeds into the warm earth. So he used his scoop as kind of like a garden trowel, like the mystery box item. And he planted some seeds. Every day, Digger cared for the seeds. He watered them when their leaves looked dry. He shielded them on windy days. And just before he switched off for the night, Digger sang the flowers a bedtime song. Aww. Look at them. They bloomed. How nice. What a sweet, sweet Digger. And there's the end. Look at the flowers grew, and so did the city. So they were able to coexist or to be together, but not in the same space. So that's kind of a neat story about how a big, tough digger, because they usually are like big and loud and made of metal and they rumble and they look tough. Sometimes they can be really sweet too and care for flowers. And it's also a little bit about how you can plant flowers too, because it's springtime. So it gives you a little bit of information about flowers, which is cool. All right, I'm gonna scooch back just 1 second here. I've got a flannel activity I want to share with you. So you can probably have a seat for this on the rug or wherever you're going to sit. It goes like this. So, but before I start though, first I'm gonna explain a little bit. Diggers use their big scoops to dig holes in the ground. And a lot of the time, the holes they dig are used for the foundation or the base of a building, just like in Digger and the Flower. All those machines built all those buildings up in the city. So we're going to build a building, and we're going to start with a hole dug by a digger. So it goes like this. Building a house is lots of work. Whew. You can wipe off all your hard work and sweat. First, you need to dig lots of dirt. So here's my digger, and it's gonna dig, digging lots of dirt. You can pretend to dig. All right, then you pour a concrete floor. So here's the concrete floor, or the foundation of the house, like we were talking about. This is the sturdy base so that the house can be built and stay tall and strong and not topple over. So pour your foundation. And pounds boards with nails galore. So we're gonna put up the walls of the house. Here's the walls. Pound those in, pound, pound, pound. Pound your walls in. Doors, windows, and roof go in fast. So here's a door and some windows and a roof. These up a little higher so they're not right on top of the door. There we go. So we've got doors, dry your door, some windows, dry your little windows, and a roof that go on fast. Now our house is done at last. So we just built a house and we had a lot of help from the digger. The digger did one of the most important parts of the construction of the house, which was digging the hole to put in the foundation, because like I said before, we need this foundation to keep the building strong and tall so it doesn't topple over. So one of the cool things about building this house, we're gonna drive our crane away, or digger away. Ready? Here it goes, bye-bye. One of the cool things is I made this house entirely out of different shapes. So let's talk a little bit about these shapes. So the last part that went on was the roof. What shape is that, and what color is it? The shape is, and teachers, you can pause the video here if you want to, and kids, I would ask you to raise your hands if you have an answer, okay? So the roof is a triangle, and it's the color green. So we have a green triangle. And then the windows went on. So we've got two windows, 1, 2, and these are little tiny, what shape? Little squares. These are two tiny little squares, 1, 2, and they are which color? Yellow, 2 yellow squares. Then we have the door. So this shape is not a square. It's got 2 long sides and 2 short sides. It is a rectangle. And which color is it? It's red. So we have a red rectangle. Then we had the walls of the house. So this shape is kind of like the little yellow ones we had earlier. It's got equal sides. It's a big square, and it's the color blue, a blue square. And last we had that foundation, kind of like the basement of the house, the base of where everything else is built on top of. And this has got 2 long sides and 2 really short sides, so that makes it which shape? It's a rectangle, and it's what color? Same as my mask. Look, it blends in. It's black. All right, so those are all the shapes used to make my house and all the different colors I used. So pretty cool, huh? You can probably use those same shapes to draw a house if you wanted to. All right, so I have, let's switch this way a little bit. I have a song for you. For this one, you can sit on the rug, okay? So this is a song that's kind of like Johnny pounds with one hammer, one hammer, one hammer. So maybe you've done that one before. I'm not sure, but if you haven't, we're going to do it a little bit different so you can learn it with me today, right now. Instead of hammers, we've been digging, so Johnny's going to use a shovel. A couple different shovels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shovels. All right, you ready for this? Here we go. Get your first shovel out. And it goes like this. Johnny digs with one shovel, one shovel, one shovel. Johnny digs with one shovel. Now he digs with 2. Johnny digs with 2 shovels, 2 shovels, 2 shovels. Johnny digs with 2 shovels, now he digs with 3. Johnny digs with 3 shovels, 3 shovels, 3 shovels. Johnny digs with 3 shovels, now he digs with 4. Ooh, we're getting a little trickier here. And if you're sitting on the rug, you can just move your legs up and down for this. Ready? Here we go. Johnny digs with 4 shovels, 4 shovels, 4 shovels. Johnny digs with 4 shovels, now he digs with 5. We're gonna get a little bit crazy. Ready for it? Here we go. We're gonna look silly. Johnny digs with 5 shovels, 5 shovels, 5 shovels. Johnny digs with 5 shovels, then he goes to sleep. I don't know about you, but after all that digging with 5 shovels, I got really tired. So, all right, I have another story for you. Let me scooch up and get situated. All right, here it is. It's called, Where Do Diggers Sleep at Night? So this has diggers in it, as you can see, but it also has lots of other different kinds of trucks in it too. So maybe what you can do in your classroom is, while you're reading, if you see your favorite truck in the story, you could raise your hand, and then maybe your teachers could pause the video and you could go around and say, and count how many people each truck had their, how many people raised their hand for each truck. So, see if you spy your favorite truck in here. Here we go. Where Do Diggers Sleep at Night? By Brianna, Kaplan, Sayers. And I'm reading this with permission from Random House. Where do diggers sleep at night? Do they dream of holes they dug? Do their moms reach front to back hoe when they give goodnight hugs? So there's a digger. If the digger is your favorite truck, raise your hand. Look at that cute little digger hitching a ride in the scoop. Where do dump trucks sleep at night after dumping dirt and rocks? Do they gather toys and dump them in a giant truck toy box? All right, you can raise your hand if dump trucks are your favorite truck. Where do garbage trucks sleep at night when they're done collecting trash? Do their dads sniff their load and say, "Phew, time to take a bath"? Raise your hand if garbage trucks are your favorite truck. Where do monster trucks sleep when they've done a day of crushing? Do they find a giant puddle when their metal teeth need brushing? That's kind of silly, isn't it? Raise your hand if you like monster trucks. Where do fire engines sleep when they've won their firefights? Do their flashing red light beacons make for super bright night lights? Raise your hand if fire trucks are your favorite. Where do snowplows sleep at night when they've cleared the snow away? Do their moms say, "Get to sleep, boys, lots more snow is on the way"? Raise your hand if you like snowplows. Whoops. Where do car transporters sleep when they're loaded up with cars? Do they tell those cars a story as they sleep beneath the stars? So raise your hand if you like car transporters. Where do tow trucks sleep at night when they've reached their destination? Do they tuck each broken car into a cozy service station? Raise your hand if you like tow trucks. Where do giant cranes sleep when they've lifted their last beams? Do their moms pick them up and rock them and wish them sweet truck dreams? Wow, look at this cute little crane. He's like swinging from the mommy crane. It's so cute. Raise your hand if you like cranes. Where do tractors sleep at night after plowing all day long? Do their dads sing Old Truck Donald for a barnyard bedtime song? Raise your hand if you like tractors. I bet a lot of you like tractors. Where do all these trucks sleep after rumbling down the road? Do they gather at a truck stop to rest their heavy loads? Do they ask for one more story, one more kiss, and one more hug? Do they cuddle with their teddies under blankets, nice and snug? Oh, look at that truck. Where do your trucks sleep at night when it's time to go to bed? They'll be waiting in your toy box when you wake, my sleepy head. Aw, there's all the trucks in the toy box. So maybe you have some trucks at home too. All right, that's the end of the story. Which truck was the winner? Which truck had the most votes with people's hands in the air? All right, pretty cool. I'm gonna scooch back just 1 second here, ready? Back I go. I have one little finger rhyme for you before we end story time. So just like the digger on this cover and right here, they have this kind of arm with a scoop. The scoop is called a boom. So we're going to pretend that our arm is just like this arm with a boom on the end. So can you put your arm like this? And here's your boom or your scoop. All right, here we go. Ready? Here's a steam shovel. Here is the ground. See the great big boom swinging round and round. It dips, it bites, it lifts, and it throws. Just kind of how like they throw dirt with their scoop. My, how the hole in the ground grows, grows, grows. Digging, scooping, lifting, throwing. See how the hill of dirt is growing, growing, growing. All right, so let's try that one more time. And I forgot to say you can stand up for this one. And at the end, when the hill is growing, 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 you can stretch up really tall on your tiptoes as high as you can without falling over, okay? And make sure you're not hitting any of your friends around you. All right, ready? Let's try that one more time. Here we go. Get out your crane. Here's the steam shovel. And here's the ground. See the great boom as it swings round and round. It dips and it bites and it lifts and it throws. See how the hole in the ground grows, grows, grows. Digging and scooping, lifting and throwing. See how the hill of dirt keeps growing, 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 up as tall as you can. All right, so you can come back down again, but stay standing because we're gonna end story time with zoom, 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 like we usually do. So put your hands together, let's get ready. Here we go. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Bye guys, see you next time.